Hey, Kelly, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Jess. How are you doing?
Good. I want to talk about parenting for a second. So you caught the tail end of my conversation, which I will not be as graphic, but Justin's high school friend, Jeff, congratulations. Jeff, he and his wife had their second child. Jeff is our age. So Jeff is 47 and they had a baby. I love new life. I have a friend that had a new baby, and that is so amazing for their journey. For Jessica's journey, if I were to start over all over again, I just want to just go ahead and dig a hole and you can cover myself up and just put a headstone on it. What are your thoughts for you, not for other people, I'm not judging other people, but for you, Kelly, if you had a baby right now and had to start all over again?
I I would not want to be in that position.
Yeah.
It like feelings of like pain, pain from being tired, exhaustion. My neighbor 2 doors down, they have a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old. And, they are in the grind of
Yeah.
that. There are a couple of people around us actually that we know who have
They'll be
younger kids.
65 when their child graduates high school, so they'll be almost 70 to not have them on their payroll.
There are some things, I'm trying to see the bright side of it, Jess, which is like,
I'm not.
they've had their full life. They probably are very financially secure.
I don't know the age of his partner,
I
by
always
the way.
think about that. I always think about even friends I had whose parents were like, when I was like in my 30s, their parents were like in their 70s and like were passing away. And I was like, wow. But they also had parents who were, retired and financially secure and things that, having family later in life affords you that.
Yeah,
Plus, maybe
no,
it keeps you
totally.
longer.
Yeah, well, and I know
Hopefully.
Jeff was the last of his friends to be married. It's interesting. What comes to mind, and I don't know if we talked about this, listeners, as you know, Kelly and I listen to a lot of people in the longevity and health space, women, hormones, all the things. And studies have been coming out saying that women's bodies do not return to prepartum, pre-baby. If you biologically have your child, your hormones do not reach homeostasis until 5 years postpartum. So here's what I want to say about that. Did we already talk about this? Gabby was 12. The way that I had my children, it would have been 12 years of me not having reached homeostasis. And looking at an arc, if we looked at a bell curve of my marriage, I would probably say those were 12 really difficult years. And I also coincidentally turned 40 around that time of being 5 years postpartum. So I thought, oh, this is why I'm feeling confident. This is why I don't care about other people. This is why I'm like coming out of this fog. Like we had read Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Gio was 5.5 years old. So I thought it was I was reading these books, or was it just that I was in a crazy hormonal fog for 12 years? What are your thoughts about that? And I think that's why I don't want to start over. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a new life into this world, but it's just all these other things.
So I feel like watching you having a third kid was really exhausting. I'm glad we didn't have a third. But also, I think it is a different mindset to continue to have children. And I am unfortunately kind of like a bit controlling and anxious as I've gotten older. And so I couldn't imagine having another kid. Although honestly, I don't know about you, Jess, but I'm kind of like coming back full circle that I'm starting to like just let my kids be and not be so worried about them. I think that was part of this.
Too, I think that's what it's not like there's so much. I wish more people like were educated and able to plan and prepare and choose to have a child, right? But unfortunately, that's just not what's happening in our country. And over 60% of pregnancies are like unplanned. And so I just think people don't realize like this is like a lifetime commitment. You have this child and it's this lifetime commitment. Not only is it a lifetime commitment, but they're going to push your buttons. They're going to be triggering. You're going to re-experience some of your own traumas, hormonally things. You know what I mean? It's just like, so all of these things. It's just really crazy, this journey of parenthood, having a baby. I'm reading, I know this, I'm going to be reading this book probably for season 6, 7, and 8 of the Chasing Brighter podcast, but I'm still reading Dr. Gabor Mate's book, The Myth of Normal. And he's talking right now, like he was kind of talking about in utero and how the mother is when she's pregnant and how that impacts a child. And so right now he's reviewing a study of how affectionate people were, and then they followed up with those people like 20, 25 years later. So the people that were the least anxious and the most emotionally healthy had the most physically affectionate mother. So you know how when they used to be like, you can spoil a child, don't hold your child too long. You know how they're like these myths and you're just like kissing and hugging your baby. So the really incredibly affectionate parents had the child. So I thought that was really fascinating. So all of the, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's all overwhelming. All the things you can do, starting all over again. And how, like you're saying, like you have anxiety, then you have this, and then how does that impact the child? And then you have to work through your own stuff to be a better parent.
Yeah. And I think, though, at the same time, like, if it's changed so much, it changes so much, you know, and I would probably do it. I don't know if I would do it differently. I don't regret what I did, but if I had to do it
It is what it
again,
is. Yeah.
I obviously would be doing it differently.
Yeah.
And so I'm definitely enjoying the kids'
Yeah.
ages as they are now to be very independent.
Yeah.
It is so fun. Those baby stage years where
Yeah.
like you don't have to do anything. And I do miss various phases of that,
Yeah.
right? I miss scooping the kids up and just going somewhere to get them out of the house. Or I've been so nostalgic lately. I don't know about you, Jess, but like, well, it just got really nice here. And so we walked by the park and there's all these kids in the playground. And I said to Wes, remember when you guys used to just live at that park and they were just there all the time on the playground? And so I miss those
I feel like I'm a
phases
little
too.
still in it with Giovanni. Like I packed his scooter and his helmet, and we went for a walk, and he's scootering. And then I picked him up, and then I had a late session. I brought him in my office, and his scooter was still in my car. And he's like, "Can we do like we did yesterday?" And I had done like a very intense workout at Orange Theory, and I wanted to pass out and go to sleep. And I was like, "Okay," I put my sneakers on, and I took him on the trail. And then he was like, "Can we go see the Mario movie?" And then before bed, he was like, you know, when he's so philosophical, and he'll ask me these questions, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, wait, you know, and he'll be like, and then what happens if I put I accidentally put body wash in my hair, and then I put shampoo on? What happens if you put body wash, and then what if you put body wash and then shampoo in your hair? I don't know. Well, then I put a bunch of shampoo. What happens if you put a bunch of shampoo on top of the body wash? And go, well, you know, you're not really supposed to wash your hair with soap. So I feel like it's not soap, it's body wash. And then I'm like, I think it'll be fine. So should I rinse it out or what? I mean, it was just like 27 questions. And I'm just like, so with
Those are
him, I'm
fun.
still
I
in
used to
it.
record those, Jess. Not like record them, but I have a running log of notes of like Beckett's late night
Philosophical
conversations.
question. Yes.
Yeah.
You sent me a TikTok, and the account is Alicia at Another Day at the Stoddards, STODDARDS. And Justin had sent me this, and they had used AI to make like an emo rock video of her teen daughter's text messages. So I want us to go through, and I'm going to read just my son who's going through something. This is my 15-year-old son. I'm sorry, I feel terrible. If you didn't get me, because I said I was asking if he wanted me to bring him dinner and he never responded. Yes, please. I'm sorry, I feel terrible. If you didn't get that, it's completely fine. I take full responsibility. Thank you so much. I apologize. The next day, since we're still not learning responsibility, I take full responsibility for not taking out the recycling and trash this morning. I was going to do it, but because I didn't go to sleep at an early time yesterday, I wasn't able to get up in time to take it out. I should have taken it out yesterday when you told me, instead of being on my phone and looking over my notes for school. There's a lot of apologies
Wow.
happening. What do you have?
What's your New York Times login? I need your Google password. Need you to click yes. Gmail check, please, when you get a sec. Nope, not yet. Be prepared to pick me up at 2:11, but the game is still on so far. Oops, my bad, computer didn't register. Okay, I got the game. I don't know what that was. I mean, what's for dinner? What's for lunch?
My 11-year-old Netflix screen time request. Please, 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 please. Mom, please, please. Thank you, Mom. YouTube request. Please. YouTube request. YouTube request. Netflix request. Netflix request.
Beckett's is this one. It was good from this week. Ick me up. Pick. Please. Now. Mom. Okay. Thank you. Try to come quick. Please. Turning on Ohio. Okay. Anyway, I didn't. I was planning to go check on him after school anyway. It turns out, backstory behind that, because I thought that's so weird that he's like, hurry, come and get me. We live 2 blocks from school, and I don't need to drive and go get him.
Yeah.
What he didn't say is he has PE at the end of the day, and he was tripped. They were playing kickball, and he skinned up his knee really bad.
Oh.
And so his knee was all it was really bloody. And I think he got at the very end is when he got hurt. I think he literally grabbed his stuff up because he very much internalizes things too.
Yeah.
He doesn't tell anybody he's in pain.
None of my kids would.
And so as soon as I got him and he was crying and he's like, I can't go to soccer. That's always usually his thing because he has soccer every night. But anyway, I got him taken care of. But it was I was like, did you guys were you playing kickball on the turf? The blacktop.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
Anyway, he already had another boo-boo on that same knee from something else. And so now he has competing Band-Aids on the 2 sides. I mean, that's the fun part about he's, Gio and Becca are at the tail end of being kids in a lot of ways. And the skin knees is part of that.
Well, the older two, Dominic's arm, they're moving to turf fields now. And Dominic's arm is ripped open multiple times. And the coach was like, I want you to take a picture of that and send that to CCST. And this is what happens when they move to turf fields. And we're like, the coach doesn't like turf fields. He is very angry. And then he hit a double in turn 2. And then was like, oh, crap, I got to get back, and dove back to second. And the second baseman hit him in the face really hard. It looks like he has a cheek implant. And now it's moved to a black eye. And then he had this scratch on his forehead. It looked like a cut. And I go, it was a day after the black eye. And I go, what happened to your forehead? He was like, what? And I was like, there's a cut there. And he's like, I don't know. The next morning, he goes, oh, Mom, you know how you were like, what happened to your forehead? And I didn't know what happened to it. We were at the cages and I was soft tossing. And, that L screen usually does a great job of protecting me. But the whole thing fell back and hit me in the head. And now when I get up fast, it's like I have low iron and my vision's blurry. And I'm like, I go. And then they always come to me, right? And their father's a physician. And I'm like, well, your dad needs to do a concussion check, But they don't go to Justin because, Justin is like, what the F you guys do? This is get for effing around. It's not like he's like me where I'm like, oh, let me put ice on it and kiss it and make, And so Justin's like, what were you doing? If you get hit in the head, you have to let us know, man. You can't just be messing around. That's serious, And so I'm like, I forgot. Now I'm dizzy. It's like, dude. I mean, Kelly, it was like a gash. She's like, I don't remember. Oh, great.
That is not good. To your point, the older they get, the injuries are more severe, especially with baseball, right? It's getting hit in every which place, which makes it a little bit crazy. Speaking of injuries to the boys, we were at the lake house this week. We've just been doing some quick overnights to kind of work on a lot of lawn care stuff.
Yeah.
I've spent hours upon hours raking leaves, but we have a hammock in the backyard. You really have to come, obviously, to the lake house, but we have a hammock in the backyard. It's screwed into 2 trees. It is not going anywhere, and those kids play on it all the time. And there are 2 boys, so they're playing who can knock the other person off by swinging them. So Wes is trying to swing Beckett so high on the hammock that he'll flip upside down and fall out. And he never did. But he was holding on for dear life. He never fell out.
Oh my God. Good. That's a core workout. It's a good upper body core workout. And we always have, if you want to see pictures or get little sneak peeks into Kelly and I's life, you should check out our newsletter. We always have a little message from each of us, and you can get that at chasingbrighter.com/newsletter.
And you can also figure out hear and see what we're up to by following us on our socials, which is at Chasing Brighter.
Thank you. Have a great day.